Hello again. Welcome back to our math lesson. Our sources for today are XP Geometry and Soaring 21st Century Mathematics. For today's lesson, we will have real-life application of the Pythagorean Theorem. The Pythagorean Theorem says that the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the legs, giving us a squared plus b squared equals c squared. By commutative property of equality, we can get c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. And from this, we can also get the value of a squared and b squared. So to get the value of c, a, and b, we just get the square root of both sides. So let us now go to our word problems. First question. Two buses leave a terminal at the same time. One heads due east at 25 kilometers per hour and one heads due north at 40 kilometers per hour. How far apart are the two buses after 2 hours? Okay, so we will get the given, unknown formula, solution, and answer. The best thing to do is draw a representation of our given. So, suppose this is our bus terminal. It's going to the east at 25 kilometers per hour. And the other one is due north at 40 kilometers per hour. Now, our question says, how far apart are the two buses after 2 hours? After 2 hours, the bus going to the east will be 50 kilometers away from the terminal, while the bus going to the north will be 80 kilometers away from the terminal. How far apart are the two buses after 2 hours? So suppose the bus due north is on this point, and the bus due east is on this point. What is the distance from the bus going to the north to the bus going to the east? So this is our unknown. Following the GUPSA method, let us identify our given, our 80 and 50, but let us identify them by assigning variables. We are going to call it as base or B, while we are going to call it as A. Now, we are looking for the hypotenuse, which is C. Our given are A equals 80 and B equals 50. Our unknown is C. Okay, what formula are we going to use to get C? From our Pythagorean theorem, C is equal to the square root of A squared plus B squared. So, C is equal to the square root of A. From our given, A is 80 and B is 50. So, 80 squared plus 50 squared. Evaluate our radicand. Okay, 80 squared is 6,400, while 50 squared is 2,500. Let us add. You're going to get the square root of 8,900. To solve this manually, we can factor out 8,900 as the product of 189. So, C is equal to the product of 189, and 100 is a perfect square. We can extract it out. The square root of 100 is 10, leaving us with a radicand of 89. But with the use of calculator, square root of 80 squared plus 50 squared. Okay, so that is 10 squared of 89. C is also equal to 94.3398. So for our answer, we are going to write okay, that's it for question number 1. Now, let us move to question number 2. To find the distance between 2 points P and R on the opposite ends of a lake, a surveyor sets a stake at point Q so that PQR is a right angle. By measuring, he finds QR to be 170 meters and QP to be 82 meters. To the nearest meter, what is the distance from P to R? Okay, again, we are going to draw a representation for our problem. This is our representation. This is the lake and this is stake Q. So points P and points R are here and the angle PQR is 90 degrees. From the question, QR is said to be 170 meters and QP is 82 meters. We are looking from the distance from P to R. When we look at this figure, it is also a right triangle. Right? From this figure, we can identify our given and our unknown. Okay, so since this is our right angle, opposite the right angle is always our hypotenuse. Therefore, this is our hypotenuse. Let us assign C. Our legs are 82 and 170. So let us name this as A and this will be our B. Our given are 82 meters for A and 170 meters for B. Is there a difference when we are putting our units when we are solving using the Pythagorean Theorem? The formula that we need is the formula for C, which is the square root of A squared plus B squared. For our solution, substitute our values in our formula. C is equal to the square root of 82 meters. Let us now put our units. 82 meters squared plus 170 meters squared. Let us evaluate our radicand. 82 meters squared is 6,724 meters squared plus 170 meters squared is 28,900 meter squared or square meters. Again, evaluate, add. This is 35,624 meter square. Okay, how are we going to input it directly to the calculator? So this is the square root of 82 squared plus the square plus 170 squared. We get 188.7432118. Since we are getting the square root of this, we can also get the square root of m squared. The square root of m squared is m. Our question is asking for the distance to the nearest meter. We have to round off 188.7432 to the nearest meter. Okay, our answer will be now let's have question number 3. A light post has cracked 6 feet from the ground during a strong typhoon and has fallen so that the top of the post hit the ground 15 feet from the base. How tall was the post before it fell? This is the ground and this is our light post which cracked 6 feet. So it cracked 6 feet. The top part of the post fell to the ground 15 feet from the base. So from the base to the end of the post, this is 16 feet. How tall was the post before it fell? So we are going to get the sum of the base of the post plus the part of the post which fell. Assign variables to represent our given. So since this is the horizontal distance, let us name this as B, and this is our vertical distance, so we will name it as A. So our unknown is C. But after finding C, we still have to find the length of the post. So our real unknown is the length of the post. Let L be the length of the post, where L is equal to A plus C. Our given are A equals 6 feet, B is equal to 16 feet. Our unknown is C and L. Formula that we will use for C is still the square root of A squared plus B squared. For the solution, substitute the given to the formula. C is the unknown. It's equal to A squared. So 6 squared plus 16 squared. Again, we can add the feet to our solution. Is it okay if we do not add the units? Yes, we will just add it at the end. So C is equal to the square root of 6 squared, which is 36, plus 16 squared, which is 256. C is equal to 292. 292 can be expressed as 4 times 73. Okay, extract 4 since it's a perfect square. So the square root of 4 is 2. Then our radicand is 73. So using a calculator, we can just input square root of 6 squared plus 16 squared. When we write it in two decimal places, this will become 17.09 or 17 and 9 hundredths. What will be our unit? Feet. Okay, so for our final answer, we are going to write that's it for our sample problems for today. For your practice activity, kindly answer the following questions. Number 1. A ladder 5 meter long leans against a wall. The foot of the ladder is 3 meters from the base of the wall. How far can the ladder reach up the wall? Number 2. The rectangular top of a box has a fine black stripe crossing it diagonally. If the top of the box measures 20 centimeters by 15 centimeters, calculate the length of the black stripe. Last question for your practice. A tent pole is held vertical by 2 ropes. Both ropes have length of 2.5 meters. If the pole is 2 meters long, find A, the distance from the base of the pole to the end of the rope on the ground, and B, find the distance between the two ends of the rope. I will see you again on the next video on how we solve the practice problems. Thank you, keep safe, and stay healthy. See you again.